Hello and welcome to Tangent. I'm Brandon Ilsley.
And I'm Brandon Ilsley.
Way, Ethan's obligatory joke. And if you haven't listened to this podcast before, the whole point is that we get a random word or phrase and discuss that word or phrase, seeing what tangents we go on, never gets old. As always,
Brandon's obligatory joke.
As always, you can find... I didn't appreciate that. As always, you can find us in all places you can find podcasts, and specifically you can find us at tangent.buzzsprout.com. And if you would like to submit your own prompts, you can do so by emailing us if you're from the past at tangentpodcastideas@gmail.com, or do it on our Instagram like everyone else does, which is going_on_tangent. Send us a message on there. Wow. How you doing?
Wow.
I know. Not...
I am Ethan Leith, by the way.
We know who you fucking are. Your name is literally in the description for this video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you never know.
It's okay. It's true.
Maybe they didn't read it.
Maybe somebody.
Maybe this is their first time.
Yeah. Maybe somebody starts watching Tangent from episode this one.
You never know.
I can't remember what episode this is.
Welcome. This is episode 22.
22? We've done 22 of these things?
Yes.
You're a liar.
This is 22 now.
Wow.
22 and more than a year
22.
of Tangent. And Brandon, what is special about this episode?
This episode is special and is sad and is intriguing. Because it is, unfortunately, it's our final episode of season 1. Final episode of season 1. Can we get like an audio like on the track there? So this is our final episode of season 1, which is bittersweet. I think there's positives and negatives to the whole situation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna come back for a season 2. I hope
we are coming back. We are coming back.
We're just taking a brief hiatus.
Yes.
To expand the team. In fact.
Expanding the Tangent team. The TT, not to be confused with the old Lego style gaming company, TT.
Traveller's Tales.
Traveller's Tales. Is that what that stood for?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's Traveller's Tales.
I did not know that. I did.
No, they were good at making games. Those old Lego games.
Oh, the old Lego games were fucking amazing. Lego Batman will forever be one of my favorite Lego games of all time. Like, it's just so good.
Yeah.
No, don't agree with me.
No, I just thought Lego Fat Man going through menopause.
What? Where did that come from?
Those of you who have watched episode 5 will remember that one.
Oh, wow! Calling back already.
Jeez, yeah. Brandon doesn't even know our own references.
No, I don't, because you know what? We recorded that a year ago.
Yeah.
That was literally probably about this time last year that we recorded that episode, which is, I think, a little bit crazy. It's a little bit crazy that it's been a whole year of us doing this stupid shit.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a whole year, and we're going to do it more, and even better, hopefully.
Yeah, well, that is the plan. Well, that's the hopeful plan. But yeah, no, but for keeping up with the formula we've put in place, Ethan, and not making it all about the fact that this is our last episode. Yeah, how the fuck are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm yeah.
Yeah, fine. Shut up. Anyway, so
You're working at Hamleys now.
Yeah. Moving down to London soon to pursue the acting career, as it were. As it stands. As it is, as they say. I'm leaving my position as a video editor and heading down to work for a toy store. Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, you said leaving your position as a video editor, you somewhat passed the torch, almost like you did with the Tangent editing, to the same person, might I add.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Ben Payne for getting a better job than.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Now, Ben, you put in the audience clap.
Yeah, he got fired from that job.
He didn't get fired. He got suspended. But I don't know if that's our story to tell, because it's the funniest shit ever.
No, I don't.
It's so stupid.
Ben, you can decide to keep this or leave this. Wait, hang on, no. That's the same thing. You don't have a choice.
It was funny.
Anyway, how are you doing, Brandon?
I'm actually all right. I'm obviously, you know me, same status quo as forever. Recently got back off of holiday trip to Lanzarote though. Whoop 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 whoop.
How was that?
It was actually really nice. It was our all inclusive was really cheap, and as a result, it was very Benidorm-esque. But you know what? I was there for it. And the food was surprisingly good. The food was like surprisingly good. Like you'd think for an all inclusive where they serve a shit ton of people a shit ton of food every day, you'd be like, the food's probably going to be. It was actually. I was like, we were all very surprised, pleasantly so.
Well, there you go. How much was that all inclusive to Lanzarote?
Really cheap. We got it. I think we paid about 400 each. That's flights, transports.
That's pretty good.
That's fucking good, bro.
Considering that for that same money, I'm going for a weekend to the Channel Islands. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and for roughly about that, I did my 2-day hot tub getaway thing. So yeah, it was
very nice. 2-day hot tub getaway.
I've talked about this. I took my girlfriend to a cabin in the woods with a hot tub.
Cabin in the Woods. That's a movie.
That's a movie.
The hot tub is burning my balls.
It's also very cold.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Jesus. For the final time this season, can we get that ding in the chat? It's the prompt. It's prompt time.
It's prompt time.
It's the prompt time.
Time for the prompt.
And this time, this prompt is brought to you by us. I sort of selfishly wanted to do like one of our own prompts. I feel like for the final episode of the season, we can just have a chat. So, my prompt to you, Ethan. To us.
Yeah, I don't actually know the prompt. Brandon chose it. I don't know it.
Yeah. It's the concept of karma.
The concept of karma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of what are we going to be able to fucking talk about for ages, or like talk about and around and go on a tangent for. And I was like, it has to be something lofty and sort of grandiose. And I was like, well, fucking doesn't get much loftier than like universe itself type beat shit. So yeah. Do you believe in karma, Mr. Leith?
Got to go out to the Tibetan mountains and have a little look at a little stone wall. It's got some. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know where the fuck you're going.
Just start making it up.
you
making shit up.
For karma.
Yeah. No. I guess. I mean, I do and I don't. That there is. I think that a lot of the time. I mean, this just comes from obviously, as long-time listeners will know, I am religious. And I don't believe in karma as such. I don't believe that there's some law or physical property of the universe that means everyone who does bad things gets bad things happen to them, and everyone who does good things gets good things happen to them. I think inherently it kind of creates this feeling of, this reward that you should do good things to get something out of it, rather than just, for the sake of it, and the idea that every bad person's going to get their comeuppance. And, there's plenty of bad people that didn't. But at the same time, I do believe that you should try and be a good person, just for the sake of it. Not necessarily for anything in reward that you're going to get good karma and it's going to follow you around. You're going to win the lottery if you, help some old lady who's fallen over. But I
don't think it quite works.
Yeah, I think it does.
I have many points to raise from what you've just said, but please finish what you're saying.
Well, I was just going to say that, I think also just a lot of the time when people do bad and selfish things, it becomes its own comeuppance. If you are a dick to the people around you, you're going to lose all your friends, probably. So in that sense, yeah, if you do stupid things, then bad things will happen to you.
Yeah. See. So I have a couple of things to say on what you said, and I've actually forgotten one of them, but I have two in my head. So the first thing I was going to say is, so your view on karma is this interesting reward system, as you've called it, and so one of the things I was going to say is going to be about that, but also the way I personally I look at karma or karma-like things is that it's basically just a more spiritual way of saying cause and effect. You know what I mean? Like you say, if you are inherently a bad person, you're going to have what will amount to a shitty life, in the sense of you won't have full fulfillment or happiness in certain areas because of who you are and what you do. But whereas you're a really good person, usually I say usually because, people get hit by cars and killed in the streets for no reason. Shit, bad shit just happens to good people all the time.
Yeah.
But usually you are able to sort of garner the most out of life. You've seen Yes Man, the very famous Jim Carrey movie, one of the best films of all time.
Yeah, but that was fictional. You know that, right, Brandon?
No, it wasn't. Don't say those things to me. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
I take it back.
Good.
Please don't me. Please don't give me bad karma.
Jim Carrey, or his character in that I forget his name of, did all those things in real life. But no, also I was just interested to say that you know how you view karma as a reward system, because wouldn't you say that all of morality that's spouted by religious doctrines, wouldn't you say they all have a reward system, or at least a punishment system? Because if we go very obvious with the Catholic Church or the Christian Church, whatever, you've got heaven and hell, which is very obviously do bad things, go bad place, do good things, go good place. Yeah. I mean, obviously I think your religion's a little bit more, it's complicated than that. I think it's a bit different than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess so the way I view it, I mean, in the Baha'i faith, religions are essentially all the same. They're just different messages for different times. And so part of it is mediating through what the world needs at that time. You think about the fact that a lot of the time that the systems, so I believe in Jesus, and I believe when Jesus said he was going to come again, there's Muhammad, and then there's Baha'u'llah, and that it's all, everyone is expecting Jesus again, but actually it's a different guy, but the same sort of concept. So all religions are correct. But as the world changes, 2,000 years ago when Christianity was about, and 1,000 years ago when Islam was about, the worlds were very different places. So you get to a point where you need an update to your systems. But for stuff with stuff like if you're a priest, and how it's used a lot and nowadays as control and corruption. If you think 2,000 years ago, most people couldn't read or write. And also, it was not cost effective to send everybody to learn to. So you just send one guy who could then go and learn to read and write and come back, and he could tell you about it. But it's because it was necessary at the time. Like in the Baha'i faith, we don't have a clergy because it's not necessary in the same way. We're still organized, but the governmental system is an elected system. In the Baha'i faith. And so I think these concepts of good and bad were partly because people kind of needed them to align themselves back in the day, because people didn't have the information to really understand. I mean, you think about the medieval era, there was a point in time in human history where killing people was just kind of chill. It was just kind of, you go and you'd watch it because it was entertaining. Go and watch your public execution,
It's recent than you think, what I mean? The that people were just chill with killing. In fact, it was a way of life, and almost seen as a form of growing up, a form of reaching adulthood. Was oh, you've killed your first person, well done. You know what I mean? Which is a crazy concept to think that, well, if you take obviously it's much older, it's ancient history, but if we go Sparta from ancient Greece, literally 12-year-olds would be thrown in a pit to fight to the death because only the strong could come out. You would murder people before you hit puberty.
Yeah,
that's insane. That's such an insane
exactly
way Or at least to us now with our lofty morals and high societies and laws. But yeah, I don't know. It's just insane. It's actually a bit insane just how the human race has just changed so much, like in insane ways. And like much of it unknown. You know what I mean? To an extent, much of it like like.
Well, I always think it's crazy that so when Homer wrote the Odyssey, there were ruins.
I thought you said when Homo when Homo wrote the Odyssey.
When the gays wrote the Odyssey. It is Pride Month after all.
It is Pride Month. So that is true. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, everybody.
I hope you're fucking proud.
I hope you like the Odyssey by Homer. I've never read it. But
they're gonna change the front cover of the Odyssey just to have a little rainbow on it.
Yeah. But so like when Homer wrote the Odyssey, there was ruins in ancient Greece that were ancient for him. So like, you know, the fact that yeah, you know, we ran society completely differently. You know, you go back in the West, democracy is a much more recent concept than in the rest of the world.
Well, I mean, considering that democracy was founded and created in Greece, I feel like you'd be a little bit wrong there.
Well,
but I understand what you're saying.
I think I don't know if I consider Greece Western as such, though. It's kind of like
what
middle.
It's Mediterranean.
It's like
which is in the
east.
It's in the east, yeah.
It's east of us.
It's in the middle.
Okay, let me re-clarify. In the UK, democracy is actually a much more recent concept than in Greece.
Yes. That I will completely agree with. Yes.
And I'm sure
for the win, baby.
Woo! Bring back. I think the king should take control. King Charles, this is my
agree.
I'm asking you, use what you actually technically have the power to do, and just create your own parliament.
Just do it at this point. Just do it. Like, you know what? Do you know what the difference will be? Fuck all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be the same shit happening. Also, just a quick sidebar about King Charles. Have you seen the new King Charles money that's come out?
I saw the other day. I was at work. I was buying a wrap, and somebody in front of me pulled out one of the new King Charles ones.
Yeah, I handle money as my job. So like, they're everywhere now. And like, look, obviously, maybe it's just because everyone in the last fucking 70 years has grown up with the same face on their money.
Yeah.
But that has severely weirded me out. But also, not just because it's a different person, but because I'm sorry to Charlie, but it's a tough old visage he has. You know what I mean? Like it
doesn't have exactly the same presence as Liz.
No, I wouldn't just say presence. I'd say I'm not going to beat around the bush. He's just not as attractive. I just don't think.
Are you saying you think the Queen's fit?
I didn't say the Queen's fit. I'm just saying out of Queen Liz and King Charles, I know who I'm going for.
Be careful, Brandon. If he takes me up on my suggestion, you're going to be the first to be publicly executed for not thinking King Charles is attractive enough.
First to be executed in like fucking 50 years?
Yeah. Probably about that.
Yeah.
Fun fact: the most pleasant form of execution, if you can call execution pleasant in any way, but the least uncomfortable is actually firing squad.
I would have to disagree.
Why?
Because if you just get, a high fucking dose of morphine, I'm going to say that's the best way to die.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not talking about the best way to die. I'm just talking about of methods that have been used to execute people. Like the lethal injection that they have in the US apparently is horribly painful and often administered completely incorrectly. And it probably would be just preferable to be shot because it's quick.
Well, as long as they hit. You know what I mean? Like if they all miss one bullet and nicks a femoral artery, that's a pretty horrendous death because you're just bleeding out.
Yeah, but typically a firing squad, you have enough people that are all aiming at your head that they're probably most of them are going to hit. But that was the thing. Like, I can't remember what I was watching something, and it was basically going through, obviously hanging, not very pleasant. Electric chair was even worse, apparently, by all accounts.
Yeah, wouldn't actually kill people all the time. Would just.
And it's the same with the lethal injection. Was that it doesn't always kill people, and because most medical companies, as a stand against it, they don't make it. So most of the time it's concocted by the US police force.
Again though,
and it's made in-house and also not administered by doctors. It's administered by policemen.
But again, I'm just going to say this, and I get you don't want to have the criminal having the best time of their life as they're dying, right? I get that. But like, do you know how easy it would be for the police to get their hands on like a shit ton of heroin? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just give them a massive fucking just OD them. Like they're not going to complain about that. Like they're not going to be like, no, stop. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I always think it's an interesting concept to me. Just the concept of execution in general, because I always think, like, I get that there's a level of you want catharsis in if somebody's done something bad, you want to punish them. But actually, most of the time, that's actually, whilst it feels good in the moment, the idea, it's counterproductive to the long-term solution, which is, in the long run, we don't want people doing these things in the first place. And actually, the way to do that has been shown time and time again isn't actually punishing people. Otherwise, nobody would be on death row. That actually, it's, you know, it's not actually effective. And it's like, if we have to get to that point where we're removing somebody's life from society, I feel like that needs to be somebody who, like to me, in my mind, that's like, you're somebody who is just never going to be okay with being outside. And
yeah, well, and that's what it was really invented. Well, let's be okay. So, execution has been our way of dealing with horrendous criminals forever.
Well, it's not even been horrendous criminals though. You could get executed for some pretty petty stuff back in like the medieval era.
Oh, like, yeah, but that was also during the time where like people could, also where proving a crime or getting away with a crime was fucking easy.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Like compared to today's standards, anyway. Like murdering people if you were a serial killer in the Middle Ages, you could just join the army.
This is true.
Like that's all you needed to do, because there would be a time where you could just murder people.
Honestly,
for no reason.
I think let's just do that again. It's just everybody who wants to be a serial killer gets to go join the army.
No.
And every army around the world is just serial killers. And then we just put them in a big pit.
Bad. That is such a bad idea.
We send all of our armies to one island where they just fight each other. And then all the people that don't actually want to kill people don't have to fight. You just send all the serial killers, you put them on one big island, and then they kill each other, and then problem solved. Realistically.
Such a bad idea. Just such a bad idea.
It's called Battle Royale. They already did it. But another fun fact. The medieval era was really multicultural, and you would it basically was there were not really any international borders back in the day. That's also a much more recent concept. That they were drawn on maps, but they weren't you didn't really have a border force in the same way. And if you were just some random guy traveling, you could probably get into most places, and they didn't really have customs back in the medieval era.
Well, of course not. Well, of course. Well, if you and this is the thing. Well, so whilst we were in the medieval era, whilst the Western world was after the fall of the ancient civilizations and stuff, and we were sort of picking up the pieces of how to survive as a society again. You got to remember, travel and trade. The Silk Road was I'm pretty sure it was about during the medieval period.
I think so.
If I'm not mistaken.
I think we should bring it back.
And I mean, it sort of still exists, but this time it's massive cargo ships.
No, but I think let's bring back just one road.
One single road. Trade route throughout. Well, I mean, it did really sort of help with the terms with with slavery for one, but also it really helped with like the merging and the mixing of cultures, because it literally went from like the western edge, the eastern edge of Europe, all the way through to the western edge of China.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was literally the whole breadth. Yeah. And that's why the Middle East prospered so much during that time, is because it literally had access to
and
everything.
Spices.
And spices. It was specifically the spices, not the mathematics that pushed the Middle East into the forefront.
Spicy food.
Spicy food.
Because that was why they did maths, to take their mind off the spice.
As they were eating their dinner, they were like, fuck, what's 2 plus 2? Oh my God.
It's a commonly accepted thing, Brandon. But yeah, the thing I was really intrigued by this. I was watching a video from some guy who was talking about, he was basically giving you tips of if you're going back in time to the medieval era, here's what you need to know as a time traveler. And the one thing he said was you'd need to have a really, really tight backstory, because anytime you went anywhere, it was very commonly documented in the medieval era that people would just ask you everything, because it was basically, that was how they got news from outside. So they were just like, tell me everything about you.
This exact same clip. I think I've seen this exact same clip. Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. But yes, because there's no news. You'd get news like once a year when like a dude on a horse rode up and was like, "Oh yeah, like a fire happened in London," and people were like, "What?" You know what I mean?
No, they're probably like, "What's London?"
Yeah. Oh, London. Where's London again? What is that?
Where's that?
What is that again? But yeah,
where's London?
I feel like they'd know where London. I think they would have heard of London. You know what I mean? At least
maybe heard of
considering that it was
probably not know where it is. They didn't have Google.
It's where they're
or maps. To be fair,
they had maps.
So if
they had maps,
yeah, but the layperson would not have access to a map. They would have just so where's London, and like they probably had no concept of like the wider geography.
I feel like you're not giving people enough credit, especially during this time period, because you have to remember that every single road had milestones on it. You remember those things that we get the word milestone from? Because you used to leave on the only road in and out of your village, which connected to one of the only roads, which every road would connect back to London.
Did the Romans do those?
The Romans, well, I don't think...
Did they do the milestones?
No. I actually can't tell you. Maybe. They might have done.
And what I love about the Roman Empire is that they were like the weirdest invaders, because they come into somewhere and they'd be like, right, here's a whole bunch of infrastructure. Here's all this like cool shit. Now we're going to leave you guys to run yourselves. We'll check up every now and again to make sure that you're doing it the Roman way. But now we're going to leave.
That's not specifically true, because they left garrisons and cavalry and other, people who immigrated.
Yeah, but like most of it was local people in those garrisons and cavalries. Like they literally, if you were invaded by the Romans, you were still gonna run yourself mostly.
I mean, I think it's a little bit more complicated than that, but I do get what you're saying. I do agree. Like they were a bit odd. Well, also they were like, they had the gall to call the people they invaded barbarians. And they were so unhygienic compared to the rest of, like, the people they invaded. It was insane.
I thought they made baths.
They invented baths, but they invented public baths. As in, they invented the baths where everybody would enter, and they would never clean the water.
This is true.
They would also invented, I've said that in quotation marks, a sponge on a stick to wipe your ass that was again used by the wider public. Everyone would do it.
I think we should bring back public toilets where you all face each other. I wanna stare right into someone's soul whilst just ripping off fat juice.
It becomes a contest. It's just like, go on, do it. But no, they were gross, bro. They were like actually like the Persians. Wait, did the Romans fight the Persians? No, I'm too far gone again. I'm too far back.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Spartans in that movie.
I'm thinking about Greece and... Wait, I swear to God they have the Persians. I don't know, but either way, even like the Carthaginians had a better hygiene system than the fucking Romans did. You know what I mean? And they came way before. So, I don't know. It's just funny that they called everyone else barbarians, and they were just also the worst.
Yeah, but that's just been the whole of human history.
The only reason they conquered
people decide that they're superior when they're not. The only
reason they conquered so far is because their military. That was it. Their military was just really, really good compared to everyone else at the time.
You know, they'd found in Pompeii, they found what they believed to be a brothel. And it's because they had found in this building on the ceiling a thing that had said, please thrust slowly.
Please thrust slowly?
In Latin. Yeah. But I just love as a concept that they had to write that.
Because they were all awful. Yeah.
You guys are too hard, guys.
You're too rough.
Like, Romans, calm down. Slowly, please.
Oh god, that's so funny though. I really thought you were about to say like you were surprised by the fact that there was a brothel. I really thought I was gonna have to be like,
oh no, they were very liberal people.
Ethan, brothels have been the cornerstone of human civilization for a very long time.
Yeah, I know. I go there every week.
Well, you shouldn't because they are illegal in this country.
That's what that was going to be my next question. Is they're illegal in the UK?
They are
right?
illegal. Yes, very illegal in the UK. Prostitution is illegal in the UK, let alone brothels.
Yeah. I think it's so. When I worked at Cineworld, the bus stop that I used to go to go home, I'm pretty sure behind that was a secret brothel, because it was one of those places it was a massage parlor. Mm-hmm. But they always had the blinds down, and it was like I'd once seen some guy go in and he like knocked on the door, and they basically whispered to each other through the door, and then he like snuck in, and it was like 8 p.m. at night.
Yeah, that tracks, to be fair, for somewhere like that though. But, it just does.
Yeah.
I think there's loads. Well, then there's like the downside of it being illegal, being that like really gross and disgusting brothels can exist within that same secrecy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into that because that's fucking. I don't want to talk about that. That's fucking not nice to talk about. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think with anything, making things illegal, oftentimes people will find ways to do it anyway. They'll just do it worse.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Wow. Well, what a way to end the season.
Yeah. What a way to end the season with brothels and this conversation about karma.
Yeah. Did you enjoy our conversation about karma?
I did enjoy our conversation about karma. I think, hopefully that this has channeled some good karma into us for what's to come.
I hope so too.
We are, we're going to be going for a little bit, but we are coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, hang on a second. Fucking, give me just a moment. I'm trying to, oh my God.
Give Brandon a moment.
Give me a moment. My laptop was about to die, and that was going to really fuck up the recording for everyone. Okay.
Oh no.
But I fixed it.
Right, back on track.
Yeah. But absolutely. Thank you so much for everyone who joining us for Tangent and the first stage of this journey of season 1. A special thanks to everyone who sent in their prompts as well. We literally can't make the show about you. It's literally the premise. Yeah. But if you didn't get, we sort of need you. If you didn't get to send in your prompt, doesn't matter. Just keep sending them anyway. We're going to keep seeing them if you keep sending them. So obviously at going_on_tangent on Instagram, or tangentpodcastideas@gmail.com. But again, like we've said earlier, this isn't goodbye forever. It's just it's just goodbye for now.
And we'll be collecting them up. For season 2.
The tangents. Yes, we're collecting all of the tangents, and making a circle. Bad joke. Anyway, nice. Basically keep an eye out.
I liked it.
Did you like it? Okay, good. I'm glad somebody did.
Yeah.
Basically, fans of this weird little show we do, keep an eye out on
all two of you
on the socials, on the Tangent Instagram, which will be getting much more frequent updates because I'm no longer running it, and I'm very okay with saying that because I'm shit at social media. But instead, we'll have like a team. We'll have people behind the camera. who will do it.
Sorry. I was really expecting you to make a comment about my second. Mm-hmm.
No. I'm fully in agreement. I should never have been put in charge of it in the first place, but here we are.
Well, it was just us two, but we are expanding. We are going into season 2.
We're not paying anyone. Don't be silly. But more people have asked to join.
Yeah,
so there we go.
But we have 2 new social media managers along with our editor Ben.
Yes, Ben.
We got a Holly and a Sophie.
We do. Well,
who now run the social media?
Yeah, not quite yet, but they will. 100% they will, and I'm sure you'll see the difference when they start. But
the pictures will actually be straight for once.
For now, from myself and from Mr. Ethan Leith, we need some time to sleep before we jumpstart this, and we want to properly prepare for the coming of season 2. We'll probably make another trailer because why not?
Keep an eye on those socials. We want to come back stronger and hopefully more regular as well.
Yeah, like a period this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just once a month,
same day, every day of the month.
Yeah. I wish I could describe the look I just got from someone else in the room. Anyway,
we'll do it more than once a month as well.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's like an irregular one then, really.
Yeah.
Until next time, I have been a silly man.
And I have been the juice from a sausage, carefully distilled for your viewing enjoyment.
We'll see you in season 2.
Season 2. Bye. Nice. Do you think they're going to come back for season 2?
I don't think anyone's going to fucking watch season 2.
But, me neither. We'll still do it though.
This will get the lowest views out of all of our stuff. But you know what? Maybe if I can be fucking asked.
And if you're listening to this right now, we'll see you in season 2. I'm happy that you wanted enough tangent that you stayed for a little bit longer.
You should go though. No, wait, if you do the Ferris Bueller, it's over. What are you still doing here? Go home.
The show's over. You little piss boy.
You little wee piss boy.
That's from the movie, right?
That is from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's what he says to the audience.
Yeah.
He says, you little wee piss boy. All right. Bye.
Tangent Podcast is an original concept created, hosted and produced by Ethan Leith and Brandon Ilsley. Editing is by Ben Payne and Ethan Leith, with special thanks to Ordinary Toucan. Marketing, social media and communications is managed by Holly Rennie, Sophie Casali and Brandon Ilsley. The intro music for this season is The Beat Detector by Novembers, and outro music is Nostalgia by Ben Fox. All music and sound effects are licensed by Artlist. The guest appearances for this season were Ben Payne, Thea Minix, Aidan Moore, and Sophie Casali. Tangent Podcast is recorded with Zencaster, edited with DaVinci Resolve, and hosted by Buzzsprout. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own and do not represent the views of Tangent Podcasts or any other associated peoples, businesses, or entities, nor are they intended to malign any groups or persons. Tangent Podcasts is for entertainment only, and no information contained within should be assumed to be professional advice or a statement of absolute fact without doing your own research first. Viewer discretion is advised. Our official contact email for suggestions, complaints, or business proposals is tangentpodcastideas@gmail.com. A full list of all episodes and everywhere you can find Tangent Podcast can be found by going to tangent.buzzsprout.com. Tangent Podcast is not a suitable replacement for a balanced and well-rounded diet, no matter how tasty any episode may seem.